Okay. Hey guys, welcome to the team call tonight. I'm really excited because we have Sarah Hawley on as our guest speaker, and she is a two-star diamond qualifying coach as of today. She has been in Success Club for 10 months, including every month this year. And that's pretty impressive because she's only been working her business since June of last year, so about 1 year. So she is really growing fast. And the thing that I'm the most excited about is she has actually sponsored 29 coaches from Instagram. So she knows what she is doing on there, and she has agreed to share all of her secrets with us. So without waiting any longer, I'm going to go ahead and let her share with us about Instagram. And if you don't mind, if you're not while we're not talking, if everybody would please mute themselves. That way, if it gets loud, we can still hear her. And at the end, we're going to have a 10-minute question and answer period ish, so that you guys can get things clarified or anything like that. So, Sarah, I'm so excited to have you on here.
Thank you. I'm very excited to be on here, sharing with you guys. This is just information that, last year when I started as a coach, I wasn't really sure about my Facebook at the time. I think what kind of held me back a little bit was I was like, well, what are people on Facebook going to think? And this is not to deter you from, reaching out to people on Facebook, because they will come around eventually. But what I really relied on and what I really focused on was Instagram. I'd heard about it and I was like, well, I'm going to give it a try. So I'm going to share with you guys some basics that really helped me kick my business off. And this is something that I have been tracking since June of last year. And I finally started to tell people in March that I'm having really great success with Instagram. So let me share with you. I'm not, a professional. Obviously, this is not something that I've done, but this is just stuff that's really helped me. As Amy has said, I have signed up 29 coaches. One of those coaches is a diamond coach. I actually got to meet my first Instagram coach at Coach Summit this year. I've built really great connections with these coaches. I have over 300 customers, and I will say about my coaches are 88% from Instagram. I would say my customers are about 81% from Instagram. So I want to share with you guys, ladies, everything that I've been doing, and I would like, for you to be able to give this to your business. Please feel free to share this information with your downlines, and we have this recording, which is fantastic. So first off, let's start off with the basics. If you've never used Instagram before, you should definitely get on Instagram. It's a great way to help, track kind of yourself, and, people who are on Instagram, a lot of them, are people who, they don't have anybody necessarily to go to for a fitness journey. So, basics. You want your profile name you want to try and do it as your name or your fitness name. I used to have my Instagram as Miss Sarah, I think it was like Miss Sarah Jamie 3133. It's cute and it's fun, but it wasn't really being taken professionally, I felt like. So instead, I chose Sarah Jamie Fitness, and nobody else has that. That's been my name, Sarah Jane, Jamie. That's who I am. That's describing my business. It's SJ's, Fitness, Sarah Janie's Fitness. You want to try and do your name or your fitness name, so that's easy for you. And Miss Sarah Jane 3133 doesn't sound as professional as Sarah Janie Fitness. So you want to make sure that you're trying as much as possible to do your name or your fitness name. You have to put some underscores in there. Go ahead and do it. But also, when you're reaching out to customers, your free customers or Shakeology or Challenge Pack customers, it's easy to find you. They take it professionally that this is, at so-and-so. Your profile description, you want words to describe you, okay? I don't necessarily recommend you putting your Beachbody link in your profile, because here's the thing. Realistically, people aren't just going to go to your site and click join and sign up for the free account. What I find more successful, and this is just what I put, is do your Facebook or do a blog, do your blog site. Those are possible links you can put up there. You can put your email address, but I had more success with the Facebook connections. Actually, two of my personally sponsored coaches on the first day of 21 Day Fix, both were from Chicago, actually reached out to me because of my Facebook link. They somehow found me and they reached out to me on Facebook. And good thing I checked the other box. Make sure you check your other messages box on Facebook, because they will probably message you on there. So obviously more success with Facebook. Your photos. This is really key. Now, this is really key stuff I want you guys to listen to. Your profile name and your profile description, those are just your basics. I want you guys to post with a purpose. You know, I'm sure Tara Carr, she had a fantastic training at Summit with the social media. And as she says, post with a purpose. You know, you want to try and make your photos be really personal to you, be really inspiring. Just like she had referenced, okay, a cheat week versus a cheat meal, okay? You want to make sure if you're going to do a selfie or something, you can see the photo. Make sure that it looks like you spent time on that photo. Now, you don't, I mean, I would say, like, if you're going to take a photo of something, just make sure it's not blurry and you're not adding, like, the same kind of photo over and over. Reposting photos. Now, this is something I actually talk to a lot of my coaches about, because they tell me, they're like, hey, Sarah, I liked your photo on Facebook, but then the photo disappeared and it reappeared. Are you, like, disliking my comment or something? No. I am actually trying to get you guys, ladies, to, you know, get my photo to a specific spot on the screen. And this is what I've actually had success with. And I've read a little bit about this information just with working in college admissions. And I was in early childhood education, and I remember where your eyes will go on the screen. So I'm going to actually show you all where you want your photo to be in the hashtag. So let's just do, I'm going to do weight loss. Okay, I'm going to look up that hashtag. And your eyes, I'm going to show you the most important spots for photos. So I'm just going to describe this. This is the top line, the second line, the third line, the fourth line. You want to try and get your photo right there. Number 5. Your eyes will immediately go right there. If you won't really go to 1, you won't really go to the bottom. So I try and go for number 5 or number 8, which would number 8, you just be at the top. You would just count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Because that's where people's eyes are drawn. And let's be honest, not everybody's going to search through the hashtag. They're not going to go, like, unless they're, you know, necessarily a coach, people aren't going to scroll down very far. So you want to get your photo to the top of the page as much as possible, because that is where the eyes are going to be. It's going to be in the second row, the photo right in the middle. So if you have a really good photo, and I'm going to share with you an experience that I've had great success with, you need to be in a lot of those photos. Why do I say that? Well, I had all these Shakeology samples, and I had them in a box, and I was posting the photo, and I got nothing. I was like, guys, I have Shakeology samples. They're $5. They're including shipping. And nobody commented on it. And I'm like, okay. So I literally spread out my Shakeology samples. You know, if you guys follow me, if you start to follow me on Instagram, and I'll write out my username, I put a photo with me in it, saying, with a white piece of paper, and I literally said Shakeology samples and then my @Instagram name. And I got so many emails from people. Now, not everybody responded, but the thing is they saw me in that photo. Just to put a photo, a box of Shakeology, it's a little salesy, and I'll talk about that in a little bit. But you want to try and put yourself in those photos. You know, you don't have to make it over cheesy with, like, here's my this and this. Just put a photo of you with the Shakeology samples. I'll actually see if I can pull that up real quick for you all to see. You'll see, like, literally, there I am. I put all the samples right there. You know, I made sure to lay them out, and then there's just me right there. So like I said, when you're posting with a purpose, but you also want to try and lay your photo onto 5 or 8. And you want to keep reposting your photo if you have something like that. Now, if you're doing a fitness program, you're probably not going to keep reposting your PIO ones. But if you have a results photo that you've had really great success with, like, you know, I'm on day 18 of PIO, I want more people to see that. Big tip, big tip. A lot of people say, just replace the hashtags. I say no to that, because I've actually tried to go back and look, because they say replace the hashtags, and my photo will not show up. It will not show up in the beginning. It will just not. Maybe somebody else will have success with this, but I have personally not had success with this. I find more success in saving the photo to your phone or your iPad or whatever you're using to use your Instagram, and saving it on your phone and reposting the photo, you know. And you can also, this is just me for my iPhone, I have a notes section. So like if I have a description with something, like obviously for Shakeology samples, I'll just want to automatically save Shakeology samples, send me an email, I'll be more than happy to get that. So I just go ahead and copy and paste and put that in the photo. It just saves time. Save some of your best hashtags. Another tip, stay out of the Beachbody hashtags as much as possible, especially when a program releases. Why do I say this? Because as you all know, when PIO released, PIO was not available to beachbody.com. You could only buy PIO underneath a coach. The 21-day fix was not even available on beachbody.com, at least to my knowledge as of this date. So you want to make sure that you're not spending your time on those Beachbody hashtags, because anybody that was doing PIO for those 2 first weeks had a coach or was a coach. Okay. Now you can, if you want to, you know, don't feel like you can't post in those hashtags, because you can, but don't expect to get customers or potential coaches from it, because that's probably not going to happen. They have a coach already. Now is like the time when people can buy from beachbody.com. You know, obviously you want them to buy from your site as much as, you know, as much as possible as you can. But when a program releases, just stay out of those hashtags. Unless you're, like I said, unless you're posting about it, which is fine, but stay out of them. Like I said, also, don't try to sell as much on Facebook. Try to promote what you're doing. I know at the beginning of the month we get really excited to scream out a challenge pack, and you know what? You may do it, which is fine. That's okay. That's okay to do it, you know, once or twice, but don't make your whole month be about posting about the challenge pack, because be a part of the product. So if TurboFire is on sale, if you have TurboFire at your house, post a video of you doing the TurboFire workout, or post your favorite recipe from the TurboFire nutrition guide. I have had more success from showing, and actually more success from that than I've had with even result photos. You know, people are going to get interested if they see you on camera. So once you guys are, you know, I'll show you all what my Instagram name is, and you're going to see that I'm putting photos in there, and I'm putting me in there, and you're going to see like what I've done with PIO. People like that. They want to see you. You know, there's actually a coach that was taking a lot of my photos for a bit, and I didn't really see him as much in the photos. I mean, obviously, like after a while, it's like, okay, that's happening, but it was all sales. It was sale after sale after sale, and it was just join my team. You can get 25% off. It's not personal. You know, you can talk about that later on. You know, that will come with time. You know, that came with 29 of my coaches and my diamond coach. So just make sure that you're trying not to be as salesy as possible. Be consistent. I have had my Instagram open for a year. Consistency is key. Every day that I post about PIO, I'm putting it into my Instagram. Why? Because someone may be following your Instagram journey. I literally have somebody who emailed me saying, I've been following your journey for a while now, and I've just watched your consistency just to see like how consistent you would be at this. And you can apply this to Facebook too. You know, I've had people reach out to me and say, you know, Sarah, I'm going to be honest. I thought maybe you were just, and this was in my very beginning, they were like, I thought you were just, you know, being very excited about this program or this program, but I've actually watched you really change, and I love that. And that's what people may be doing on your Instagram. So you want to make sure you're being as consistent as possible. You know, it's kind of an odd thing to me when somebody, you know, says they're a Beachbody coach, and then I look at their photos and they see, okay, 26 weeks they posted this, and then their next photo is 2 weeks ago. So you want that consistency because people do pay attention to that. You know, you'll see on your Instagram it says how many weeks ago they posted, and then the next photo will tell you. So it's like 2 weeks, 5 days. You know, make sure every day you're posting at least 5 times a day. Great way is product of the product. I try and do at least 2 of those, a Shakeology and a workout. An inspiring quote, at least 2 of them. And then also, I try and put just maybe like something about me in there. Don't be afraid to throw something in on there. I love Chicago architecture, so I'll probably be taking photos of something, which leads me into my next thing. The other thing, really big tip I want to share with you and what I do is you want to be making new connections. And how do you do this as well? I want you guys to focus on your interests. What do you like to do? I'm going to share with you 2 things I love: Chicago architecture and photography. So what I actually do is, and this is actually a great example, I will go to the Instagram and I'll search hashtags. You know, because you don't want to be in those, you can be in those fitness ones as much as possible, but you want to connect in other ways too, because it's health and fitness. Everybody's always going to be interested in health and fitness. That's the beauty of our company. So you can go ahead and just type in photography. I'll usually just type it in, and then what I'll do is I will spend some time in the hashtag, and what I will do, this is key, this is really key what I'm saying right here, like at least 5 of someone's photos, follow them, and comment on at least 1 photo. Why do I say this? Because if you were to look in, you know, in your Instagram, you know, I'm trying to show you guys how this is. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You want to catch somebody's eye, like, wait, this person followed me, this person commented, this person's liking my photos, who are they? Let me go to them. When I had talked about sesamoiditis, because I was diagnosed with it, I actually went to the sesamoiditis Instagram hashtag, and I actually was reaching out to people saying, oh my gosh, you know, what kind of things have you done with, you know, relieving from pain? And we would talk about it, and I would ask, hey, do you have a Facebook? Like, you know, I'd love to hear more about, you know, your story. I've also done this with photography. Photographers are awesome. They have like pages. That's a great way to get people onto Facebook. You can ask them, hey, do you have a like page on Facebook so I can go and, you know, support you? And what's going to happen is you're going to go like their like page, and then they're going to want to, you know, they're going to want to add you as a friend usually. Now, what's going to probably happen, and I try and do that, I try and go for at least 100 new connections a week. If I'm feeling brave and up to it, sometimes I try and go for 1,000 in a week. Now that sounds crazy. That sounds a little crazy, and I don't want you guys to get overwhelmed by that. So what I would want you all to do is I would want you to download this app called Insta. I'll write it down for you. It's called InstaFollow. I think it's like $1.99 or $2.99, so it's called InstaFollow. Very good app. So you are going to want to see, number 1, on InstaFollow. InstaFollow tells you how many new followers you have. It's also going to tell you people who have unfollowed you. If somebody's unfollowed you, I would, unless it's like, if it's like a coach or for some reason, if it's from somebody that's, you don't know who they are, I would just unfollow them. And then it also shows you people who are not following you back. And then it also shows who you're not following back. And then it shows users who blocked you. So you want to pay attention to this as much as possible, because here's what's going to happen. I'm going to end up getting a ton of follows if I keep adding 100. So let's say if I did 100 a day, that would be fantastic. So I'd have like 700 attempts. And like I said, this is all depending on how fast you want to grow your business with Instagram. So I would go, and there would be probably a lot of people that I'm following, but they're not following me back. If you cannot catch their attention within a week, I would even say 5 days, just go ahead and unfollow them. because the connection, you're just going to have you're going to be following a lot of people, and people are probably going to be wondering, why is that person have so many followers, not enough following? A little strange. So that's why you want to download InstaFollow and track those connections. I no joke will tell you all, I have every single Instagram user that is following me on an Excel document. And I will put if they're coaches, if they're customers, who are they? Because sometimes people will comment on my photos. Like there was one girl today who I didn't add her to my Excel chart. And I was like, who is this? And then I looked back and I saw, okay, this is this girl. So I did add her on my sheet so I could track her. So that would be my biggest thing, and my biggest, like I said, one of the things that made me very successful was really reaching out and making those connections. Because a lot of times, ladies, they're not just going to come to you. You're going to have to go and find them and really connect with your interests, not just on Instagram, but on Facebook as well. What are you interested in? What do you want to be part of? I'll share with you. I, have been recovering from anxiety, so I'm actually in a couple anxiety groups. And I've actually been able to share my journey about how Shakeology has helped me with clean eating. It's helped me with my anxiety levels, and I've actually made some great connections for my people interested in samples, people interested in, hey, I want to see how this helps me. So that's what I'm saying is, and genuine interest. If you're not interested in photography or architecture, don't feel like you need to go in there. Don't, like I said, don't be fake. Don't, be like, wow, I really like this photography, but then you really don't. You're just trying to get them, it's quality versus quantity, and that's what you want in the ultimate end, because those 29 coaches I have are just phenomenal coaches. It's taken some time to, like I said, grow them and develop them, but one of them, which Amy mentioned, with my 2-star, one was a diamond coach within 90 days. And I've never met her. We've talked a lot, we've Zoomed, we've gotten to know each other, so now it's like we are like each other's sisters. It's fantastic. Like I'm also going to say too, is be creative. Don't try to be someone you are not. Don't try to copy someone. Like I mentioned with that person earlier, they were taking my photos. It's one thing to, be like, I would have been like, hey, I like this person. If this person said, hey, I like the photo concept you're using. Can I maybe, get some ideas from yours? Or rather, the better thing is if you want to connect with another coach, ask them, like, how did you make this photo spread? What would you recommend I put in this? Hey, it takes like 5 seconds, 5 minutes to talk with a coach about something. And it's going to help you learn, and it's going to help benefit you later on. Those are my big tips that I would say, biggest tips. And also, people ask, how do you keep track of each day of, are you following up with maybe the 25 or 100 people that you're adding? So what I literally do is once I have at least followed, liked 5 of their photos and commented on at least 2, I put a tally. That's 1. And then the next one, like 5 photos, comment, follow, 2. Just keep going, 3, 4, 5, until I get all the way up to 100. Once I hit 100, I'm done for the day. Takes a little bit of time. Maybe put it in your power hour. Maybe start out with adding 5 a day, adding 10 a day, adding, build yourself up. You'll learn tricks and be quick with it. I've been using it for about a year now, and I've become rather quick with it. And those are my tips. Those are the biggest things, as I just, I've shared with them. I shared with my coaches. I've shared with the Team Impacts downline, and they've helped a lot. They've helped my coaches. Actually, this is very interesting. My diamond coach is actually going to be 1-star diamond next week. She's almost on with her 6 weeks, and her diamond coach was from Instagram. It's amazing. You can find people, like I said, there are people on Instagram who maybe they're not getting the support from their, friends or family about their fitness journey, and they're reaching out on Instagram. Because if somebody's posting in weight loss or losing weight, they're genuinely interested in it. But on Facebook, you may not have the same following. Now, eventually the following did happen as people started to see more journeying, because it may seem kind of awkward at first to start with your family, but or family or friends, but Instagram really was my calling. And if you take those tips, you're going to see a growth in your customers. You're going to see a growth in your coaches. Just spend time in your interest in those hashtags, and you will be good to go, and you'll be golden. So I'm more than happy to take a call, take a Q&A if anybody has any questions, or this is also my this is my Instagram name. So if you want to see what I'm putting on there, I'm just writing it down real quick. So it's Sarah, S-A-R-A-H, and then Janie, J-A-N-I-E, and then fitness. All one word. I am friends with Amy Allen, so you're more than welcome to add me as a mutual friend. I'll be more than happy to talk with you about any questions you have. It doesn't have to just be Instagram. You can ask me any questions.
Thank you, Sarah. That was really great. And I know like a lot of people ask me, how can I use Instagram to grow my business? And I'm like, I'm not really sure. So I really appreciate you taking the time to talk to us. And I have like several pages of notes here to input. So thank you. And if you guys have questions, then like you said, we have 8 minutes here before our time expires. So go ahead and unmute yourself and go.
I have a fast question. I've had an Instagram account for a long time. I actually have a running page. So my Instagram account, it kind of has to do with my running page, but I use it for photos of my kids, and I kind of use it for a lot of different things. Do you mainly keep it just for fitness, or do you share personal things on it as well? What do you recommend?
I share personal things. So I share me, and I've had a lot of success with the personal things. Actually, I posted about the Divergent series, and I ended up gaining a coach from it because she was really interested in the Divergent series. She was like, "You're gonna love it. It's fantastic." So yes, I do post personal on there because you want to show you. I know that some people have tried to do just a fitness one where they try and follow people. I haven't heard much success from it. That's just from what I've heard. But yes. Show your personal. Show what you're doing. Because, I shared when I was dealing with sesamoiditis and showed what I'm dealing with, and people found me through it. So absolutely, show
Awesome.
those photos.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
I have a question as well.
Go, Amber. I'll go after you.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. How do you further connect with people through Instagram? Because are you just posting your email address for everybody to see, or I don't quite understand how that works.
Absolutely. So you don't want to have a lengthy conversation on Instagram because it kind of gets, the back and forth. So what I usually do, and this will happen with the serious ones, is I will post my my email account. Now, knock on wood, I haven't had anything happen with my email account. From it, you can decide if you want to create one just for Beachbody or if you want to use your personal one. I've actually used my personal one. And what I do is I tell them, great, awesome, I'd love to talk more with you. Can you send me an email real quick? Or sometimes if they ask me or I ask them if they have a Facebook, I'll give them my Facebook link. It works, and sometimes it doesn't. So you have to not take too much offense to it if they don't respond back to it or they don't email you. When I do Shakeology samples, I do put send an email to sarah.jane.hawley@gmail.com, and I do get a lot of them. So I usually will get, if I post a photo up, I'll get at least 3 emails every time, and that's every time I'm posting it up. So what I'll do is 20 hours later, like the next day, I'll take it down, I'll repost it back up, put some fresh new hashtags in it, and I'll get more people interested. So that's what I do. Great question. Absolutely great question. You're welcome.
So the question that I had, I just wanted to make sure that I wrote this down right. You said that you should post 5 times a day, 2 inspiring quotes, 1 thing about me, 1 thing about Shakeology, and 1 thing about a fitness program.
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely. And try to be in the program as much as possible. So if any of you are doing PIO right now, you're going to follow me on Instagram and you're going to see every single day I'm doing PIO. I'm doing PIO. I've got to post more Shakeology ones, so I'm focusing on my consistency, but at least I'm trying to get 5 posts a day, because somebody may just be searching in the hashtags, and if they're going to see a bunch of photos of you, they're going to be like, hey, what's this girl doing over here? I see her, she's doing PIO, she's got some shake, and she's got an inspiring quote. What is she doing? Like, I'm gonna go check her out. So that's what I would definitely recommend doing, is those 5 posts, and space them out. You don't have to do them all right at the same time. Do morning, mid-morning, afternoon, mid-afternoon, evening. Best times to post: Sunday evening, Tuesday all day. For some reason, Tuesday, I don't know if it's like Monday just feeds off of them, and Tuesday is a big day to post. Try not to post as much on Friday night or Saturday. People generally, if you're gonna do fitness ones, post during the week. If you're gonna do, like, I'm going to Navy Pier, which is a place in Chicago. It's like a tourist attraction. I'll probably post stuff about the pier, but people necessarily on the weekend, that's where the fitness kind of goes. But now that doesn't mean you can't post about fitness. Please feel free to post about fitness. But those are my best times I recommend. Sunday evening, and I've tracked this, Sunday evening and Tuesday all day are the best days for posting. I get a lot for Shakeology on Tuesdays. It's exciting.
Thank you.
Great question. You're welcome. Awesome.
Okay, well, thank you, Sarah. I really appreciate your time. And like I said, our call's about to expire. We have 3 minutes left. So I will see all of you guys here next week at the same time. And really appreciate you taking the time out tonight to be on the call. And if you think of other questions, like Sarah said, go ahead and friend her, message her on Facebook, message her on Instagram, and she will do her best to help you out. So thank you guys. Have a good night.
Thank you all.